Good day, everybody. Hope your weekend is going great. Hope you're having a great time. Hope the weather's good. A little bit stormy here in southeast Texas, but not too bad. Wasn't a total washout. Anyway, today, Big 12 Conference USA MAC Conference preview. We'll go over some of the things going on with those teams in those conferences. Got quite a bit of news to get to. We'll do that. Before we get started, hit that subscribe button down there, wherever it is, so you don't miss anything. With it, let's get started. Colorado football coach Deion Sanders, the other day, did you see that? Announced he underwent surgery to remove his bladder after a tumor was there. Doctor said he's good. His cancer's gone. Prime, he's had a lot of health problems the last couple of years. I think he's got diabetes too. I'm not for sure on that because I remember he lost a couple of toes or something. But yeah, the doctor says he's cancer free. He's good to go. So a lot of people are speculating if his health problems are going to have. He was going to resign because of it and all that. No, he's still going full forward. Doctor says go for it. He's going for it. President Trump has directed members of his cabinet to develop a plan in the next 30 days aimed at preserving college sports opportunities and preventing college athletes from becoming professionals. Wants to preserve the athletic scholarship based on the athletic department's annual revenue. Also declares that schools should not permit athletes to accept third-party payments for play. Something has to be done about this NIL thing. So the government's, NCAA don't want to do anything about it. None of these conferences do anything about it. So now the government's getting involved. And we all know what happens when the government gets involved with things. Usually they go down the freaking toilet. We'll see what happens. Who knows? UCLA quarterback Nico Lamaleva said leaving Tennessee was one of the hardest decisions he has ever had to make. And one of the driving factors to him leaving Tennessee, going back to California, was his family. Yeah, sure it was. You tried to put him up against the wall. Tennessee wasn't taking it, told you to see ya. So, yeah, you can't tell me. Now, maybe the deciding factor to go to UCLA, yeah, maybe your family, because family's there, but no, that deciding factor of leaving Tennessee was not because of your family. It's because you tried to play hardball and you lost. Florida State quarterback Tommy Castellanos, remember him talking all this crap about Alabama right before their first game? Says he did not quit on Boston College like Bill O'Brien says. He was benched last season after a 3-game losing streak. I think he was taken out in the Syracuse game, if I remember that. But anyway, yeah. He says he didn't quit on the team, despite what Coach Bill O'Brien says. Michigan defensive end Derek Moore said Ohio State's national championship was not real because they didn't beat the Wolverines along the way. So evidently, because they didn't beat Michigan, I guess CFP is going to come take the trophy away. I guess that's what he's saying. I don't know. USC freshman basketball player Elijah Arenas out 6 to 8 months. Man, knee injury that requires surgery. So I guess that would put him back in the middle of conference play. January, February, somewhere in there probably. Man, that sucks. Missed the beginning of the season and all the workouts, but it's life. It is what it is. Some sad news, man. Some more college basketball, but sad news. Tulane basketball player Greg Glenn died last weekend. School said it was a tragic accident. Other sources say he drowned somewhere around Miami, I guess swimming in the Atlantic or something. Started all 34 games last year. Averaged 11 points a game. 22 years old. Man, that is just, that's tragic. 22 years old and drowned. Prayers to him, his family, his friends, his teammates. 22, man, that's just too damn young. So like I said, where's my paper? Big 12, Conference USA, MAC concert preview. Start with the Big 12. Arizona State Sun Devils, 11-3, 7-2. Won the Big 12 championship, beat Iowa State. Lost in the CFP quarterfinals to Texas in 2 overtimes, though. If I remember right, that game looked like it was going to be a blowout. And then Arizona just started chopping, forced to the second overtime. 7 offense, 9 on defense, and a punter. Not bad. Offensive firepower, they are back, minus Cam Scatterboo, which kind of sucks. Quarterback Sam Leavitt returns with wide receiver Jordan Tyson. 2 transfer wide receivers came in that will add to that. 9 stars on defense, could be the best Sun Devil defense in years. Non-conference, Northern Arizona, Mississippi State, Texas State. Texas Tech Red Raiders, 8-5, 6-3, lost the Liberty Bowl to Arkansas. Last conference title, 1994 in the old Southwest Conference. 4 on offense, 3 on defense, and the punter coming back. Running back Taj Brooks is gone. Senior quarterback Beckham Morton returns. Brought in some good transfers, though. They brought in some good transfers to help out for the new offensive coordinator, Mark Leftwich. Senior linebacker Jacob Rodriguez returns. Led the Big 12 last year, 126 tackles and 5 sacks. New defensive coordinator for the Red Raiders, Sheil Wood. Non-conference includes Arkansas Pine Bluff, Kent State, Oregon State. They have Arizona State and BYU at home there in Lubbock, so we'll see what happens. Before we continue, like I said last time, there's so much information I'm putting down. I've tried to go back to see who's transferred out in the last month or so. So if I miss a transfer, I'd say, hey, so-and-so's coming back. He's not because he transferred. I apologize. Like I said, there's just so much crap I'm trying to get together. Kansas State Wildcats, 9-4, 5-4. Beat Rutgers in the Rate Bowl. Last conference title, 2022. 6 on offense, 5 on defense, and the punter. Kansas State, they lose their running back, though. DJ Giddens to the NFL, but junior quarterback Avery Johnson is back, as is wide receiver Jace Brown and tight end Garrett Oakley. K-State, top 2 tacklers return for them. Austin Romaine and VJ Payne. But the next 4 leading tacklers on the team went to the NFL. Non-conference, Iowa State, that first game in Ireland, that first weekend. That's usually always a pretty damn good game. Hopefully it lives up to its reputation again this year. God, I just wish it wasn't in Ireland, man. I'm not a fan of games overseas. I wish I'd play in their home stadium or even a neutral stadium here in America. I don't know. That's just me. North Dakota Army have their rival Kansas at home. BYU Cougars 11-2, 7-2, beat Colorado in the Alamo Bowl. Last conference title, though, was 2007 Mountain West Conference. 6 on offense, 3 on defense, kicker and the punter. Senior quarterback Jake Ratzloff left a few weeks ago after some trouble. Who knows who's going to start? I guess they're going to find that out in the next few weeks. Defense was one of the best in the country last year, but only 3 returning starters. Non-conference includes Portland State, Stanford, and East Carolina. Iowa State Cyclones, 11-3, 7-2, lost the Big 12 championship to Arizona State. Beat Miami, though, in the Pop-Tarts Bowl. Miami kind of fell apart at the end of last year. Remember? They were on a roll. Then you started losing games. Last conference title. You ready for this? 1912 in the Missouri Valley Conference. 6 on offense, 4 on defense, kicker and a punter. Not bad. Junior quarterback Rocco Beck returns, 3,500 passing yards, 25 touchdowns. Also ran for 318 last year. However, 1,000-yard wide receivers, Noel and Higgins, they are gone to the NFL. The defense, they do got some returning starters that were injured last year, so they'll be back. Non-conference, South Dakota, who's a badass FCS playoff team, Iowa, and Arkansas State. Baylor Bears, 8-5, 6-3, lost to LSU in the Texas Bowl. Last conference title, 2021. Not bad. 8 on offense, 5 on defense, and the punter's coming back. Veterans, an offensive return. They can be explosive. Senior quarterback Sawyer Robertson, sophomore running back Bryson Washington, as do senior wide receivers Cameron and Hawkins. Brought in some good transfers on defense. Head coach Dave Aranda, he's going to call defensive plays again this year. Non-conference, Auburn, that's going to be a Friday night game too. SMU and Samford. TCU Horned Frogs, 9-4, 6-3, beat Louisiana in the New Mexico Bowl. Last conference title, 2014. 4 on offense, 5 on defense, kicker and punter coming back. Should have a pretty good passing game, but what about the run game? Wasn't very good last year. They're going to have to work on that this offseason. And stopping the run on defense. That was an issue for the Horned Frogs last year. Non-conference, North Carolina, Abilene Christian, and their rival SMU. I do believe the North Carolina game is Belichick's first game. I think it's already sold out. Kansas Jayhawks 5-7, 4-5. Won the first game, lost the next 5 last year. Last conference title, 1968 in the Big 8 conference. 3 on offense, 3 on defense. Senior quarterback Jalen Daniels, though, he is back. Needs to be better, though. Needs to be a little more consistent. Running back and wide receiver, juniors and seniors, so they have experience there. They need to learn to finish games, though. They did not do that last year. Last year, 5 of their losses were by 6 points or less. They need to learn to finish games. Defense, they're going to need some major overhauling this offseason. Non-conference game. They're going to be a part of that first weekend of the week 0, August 23rd. Fresno State, so that could probably be a pretty good game for that week. Wagner and Missouri. Utah Utes, 5-7, 2-7. Started 4-0 last year. Lost the next 7. Last conference title, 2022. 6 on offense, 4 on defense. Return all 5 starters on the O-line, which can help. New quarterback, Devin Damperchins. Did I say that? Devin Damper, that's how you say his name. Transferred in from New Mexico. He's a dual threat guy. He can pass and run. Defense needs to get better. Gave up 21 points a game. Non-conference, UCLA, Cal Poly, and Wyoming. All right, Houston Cougars. I don't know what happened to them. 4-8, 2-7. Last conference title was in the AAC, which is now American Conference, in 2015. 4 on offense, 4 on defense. The punter, junior quarterback Connor Wagner, transfers in from Texas A&M. He's probably going to be able to take care of those throwing problems they had last year. Last year they had a lot of throwing. Their passing offense wasn't all that good. Wigman should be able to help out with that. But their protection, remember last year, protection was not very good for them. That could be part of the reason their pass offense sucked. Defense, they have to replace 5 of their 6 leading tacklers. Non-conference, Stephen F. Austin, Rice, they go to Oregon State too. So Cincinnati Bearcats, 5-7, 3-6. They were 5-2 at one point, lost the last 5 games. Last conference title, 2021, the AAC. 4 on offense, 3 on defense. O-line's coming back. They do have experience. Junior quarterback Brandon Sorsby returns. Brought in 4 wide receivers from the transfer portal to help them out. Defense, senior linebackers Dingle and Balde return. Good depth on the defense. They got a lot of good players there waiting behind them. Non-conference, Nebraska, Bowling Green, Northwestern State. Colorado Buffaloes, 9-4, 7-2. Lost the Alamo Bowl to BYU. Last conference title, 2001 in the Big 12. 2 on offense, 4 on defense, and a kicker coming back. Shador and Travis, they're gone. We all know that. But Liberty transfer quarterback, Caden Salter, he comes in. Took Liberty to the Fiesta Bowl 2 years ago. Remember that? Looks like they might have had a chance to win that thing, but who lose to? Ole Miss? Auburn? I forget who they lost to. But anyway, he comes there, so he might be able to help. Defense does need to improve on the run. Horrible running defense last year. Non-conference, Georgia Tech, which is no pushover anymore. Delaware and Wyoming. You catch Wyoming on the right time, they could beat you. UCF Knights, 4-8, 2-7. We're 3-0. Starting off the year, went 1-8 after that. Last conference title, 2018 AAC. But Scott Frost is back. Remember him? Scott Frost left there, went to Nebraska, back to his alma mater. Didn't do so well. Now he's back at UCF. 1 on offense, 3 on defense, though. Offense, looks like Scott Frost says probably going to be a 4-way quarterback battle. Two defensive line starters return. Non-conference, Jacksonville State, who we know is no pushover. Rich Rod was there. Used to take them to the playoffs. North Carolina A&T, and then North Carolina. West Virginia Mountaineers, 6-7, 5-4. Lost to Memphis in the Fresco Bowl. Last conference title, 2011 in the Big East. But like we said, Rich Rod is back. His last 6 seasons there at West Virginia, he was 57-18 before he left in 2007. Actually, he was in the run for the 2007 National Championship. Just didn't work out for him. Running back Jaheim White returns. Defense, no starters return, but some do have experience. So only 2 offensive starters. They also return too. So Rich Rod's got his hands full his first year back. Arizona Wildcats 4-8, 2-7. Started 3-1 last year, then went 1-7. Last conference title in the old Pac-10, 1993. Was that the year they called their defense the Desert Swarm? I think it was back then. 93 or 94. They had that nickname because they were just a badass defense. 4 on offense, 5 on defense. The punter, junior quarterback Noah Fifita. Remember him? He returns. Secondary, though, that is the strongest part of their defense right now. Non-conference, Hawaii and Weber State. And the Oklahoma State Cowboys, what the hell has happened to them? They used to be a factor every year in the conference race. You figure the Oklahoma and Texas gone, that would give them the green light to win a conference championship. 3-8, 0-9. Won the first 3 last year, lost the last 9. Last conference title, 2011. 1 on offense, 1 on defense, and a punter. Hell, when you're at rock bottom, we all know the only way is up. So, hell, last season was the worst in Mike Gundy's 21 years there in Stillwater. Just totally crazy what happened there last year. Non-conference, UT Martin. They go to Oregon, though. So, and then Tulsa, who hasn't really been very good lately. All right, so the big games in the Big 12. August 23rd, Iowa State versus Kansas State. We talked about that in Ireland. August 29th, that Friday night game. Auburn versus Baylor. They go to Waco. Auburn goes to Waco. August 29th also, Georgia Tech and Colorado. Battle of the 2 teams who split the national championship in 1990. If you could name the coaches of those 2 teams right now, you get bonus points. No? All right. Bobby Ross for Georgia Tech, Bill McCartney for Colorado. There's a really good 30-30 on Bill McCartney's, what's it called, Book of Bill or something like that. Tells about his time there, winning the national championship, and some tragic things happened during his tenure there at Colorado. But it's really good. I think it's called Book of, or maybe it's Book of Mac or something like that. Really good. See if you can, it's about Bill McCartney. See if you can catch it sometime. September 1st, TCU at North Carolina. Yes, that is Bill Belichick's first game. You just saw it here. I wrote it down. Let's see. September 6th, Kansas at Missouri. Border War back. First border war since 2011. Same day, Baylor at SMU. Same day, Iowa at Iowa State. That's always a good rivalry. September 13th, backyard brawl. Pitt at West Virginia. September 20th, SMU and TCU. Good crosstown rivalry. I think they call it the Skillet game or something like that. September 26th, TCU at Arizona State. That'll be a pretty good Friday night game. October 4th, Kansas State at Baylor. October 11th, TCU at Kansas State. October 18th, Utah at BYU. Holy War, that's always a good rivalry. That same day, Baylor at TCU. Texas Tech at Arizona State. That should be a really, really good one. I may have written that down wrong. I think Arizona State goes to Lubbock. I'm not sure, but I think I wrote that down wrong. Anyway, you can check. October 25th, BYU at Iowa State. That'll be pretty good. Same day, Kansas State at Kansas. Sunflower game, the Sunflower Showdown. Got some good rivalry. This one here, November 1st, Arizona State at Iowa State. These 2 teams could be fighting for a Big 12 championship again. We'll see what happens. Same day, Texas Tech at Kansas State. That's always usually a pretty damn good game. September 8th, Iowa State at TCU. September 15th, TCU at BYU. November 22nd, Kansas at Iowa State. Jayhawks have won the last 3 in that rivalry. And then November 28th, another one, good one, Battle in the Desert or something like that. Arizona at Arizona State. All right, Conference USA, Liberty Flames, 8-4, 5-3. Lost the Bahamas Bowl to Buffalo. Last conference title, 2023. 2 on offense, 6 on defense, and a punter. That ain't bad. Like I said, Caden Salter, he's gone. They did bring in Coastal Carolina quarterback Ethan Vasco. Wide receiver Julian Gray, he moves to running back, so they might still have a little firepower there. But defensive line did lose some good players. Secondary is good, though, so that helps a little bit. Non-conference, Maine, Bowling Green, James Madison. Sam Houston Bearcats, 10-3, 6-2, beat Georgia Southern in the New Orleans Bowl. Last conference title, 2021 in the WAC. 4 on offense, 0 on defense, and kicker comes back. Sam Houston's old coach, Phil Longo, he's back as head coach. So that's some good news there. Former Bearcats running back coach Zach Peterson, he is the new offensive coordinator there. Putting together an old FCS championship run, bringing all these coaches back. We'll see. I mean, I'm not going to say they're going to win the national championship, but looks like there could be in store for a damn good season. Non-conference, though, man. UNLV, Hawaii, Texas, and Oregon State. Yeah. Western Kentucky Hilltoppers, 8-6, 6-2. Beat Jacksonville State in the last game of the season. Lost to them again in the Conference USA game, championship game. Lost to James Madison in the Boca Raton Bowl. Last conference title, 2016. 1 on offense, 2 on defense, and the punter. Woo, man. Western Kentucky, though, they had good players, but they lost them to the transfer portal. But brought in some good ones, too. So we'll see if that kind of trades off. Non-conference, North Alabama, Toledo, Nevada, LSU. Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders, 3-9, 2-6. Started the season 1-5. Last conference title, 2006 in the Sun Belt. 5 on offense, 7 on defense. Senior quarterback Nicholas Vatava, is that how you say his name? Back for his third year. They need a rushing game, though. They only averaged 89 yards a game in rushing last year. Also need better defense. They average giving up 35 points and 450 yards a game. Non-conference, Austin Peay, Wisconsin, Nevada, and Marshall. Jacksonville State Gamecocks, Rich Rod left, went back to West Virginia, but they last year 9-5, 7-1. Beat Western Kentucky in the Conference USA Championship game. Lost the Cure Bowl to Ohio. 2 on offense, 2 on defense. Kicker. They lost a lot and didn't gain much in the offseason, so Jacksonville State's domination in the FCS could possibly be over. They start off with Central Florida, Georgia Southern, Murray State, and Southern Miss. New Mexico State Aggies, 3-9, 2-6. Last conference title, 1960. You know what the conference was, which I didn't even know it existed? The Border Conference. I guess maybe because they're on the Mexico border. 3 on offense, 4 on defense. They did lose a lot of players to the transfer portal, but gained quarterback Logan Fife from Montana. And we've seen how good he is in the last couple of years. New OC, though, David Yost, Utah State, Texas Tech, FIU. Defense, they do need to work on their pass rush and pass coverage. Like we said, they lost a lot. Non-conference, Bryant, Tulsa, New Mexico, the rival at Tennessee. That is not good. Missouri State Bears, their first FBS season. Congratulations to them. Last time they won the conference title, 2020, at their old conference in FCS. Last year, 8-4, 6-2 in the Missouri Valley Conference. Lost the first 2, went on an 8-game win streak last year. 7 on offense, 4 on defense, and a kicker. Veteran quarterback Jacob Clark returns his 7th year playing college football, man. Offense should be good, but defense, they're going to have to replace a lot. They're kind of questionable. Lost their top 2 tacklers. Tough non-conference schedule. USC, Marshall, SMU, UT Martin. UTEP Miners, they will join the Mountain West next year. Last year here in Conference USA. 3-9, 3-5. Didn't win a game until their 7th game. Last conference title, 2000 in the old WAC. I wish they'd bring the WAC back, man. Remember when all the other teams in the nation had 8, 10, some even had 12. The WAC went to a 16-team conference, and people were like, that's just crazy. There shouldn't be that many teams in the conference. And now just about every conference has got, like, they don't have 16. They're getting close to it. 3 on offense, 3 on defense. 5-star recruit Malachi Nelson. He went to USC. Then Boise State now transfers to UTEP. Wait a minute. 5-star recruit Malachi Nelson went to USC, then Boise State. Now he transfers to UTEP. Okay, I got it right. He's going to have a quarterback battle, though, because returning starter Skylar Locklear, he's coming back. Non-conference, Utah State, UT Martin, Texas, and Louisiana Monroe. Kennesaw State, 2-10, 2-6. Didn't win until their 7th game. And you know who they beat? They beat Liberty, of all people. Last conference title, 2021 in the Big South Conference. 3 on offense, 8 on defense, though. So that could help him out a lot. Last year's quarterback, Davis Bryson, he's now going to be a wide receiver over there. 4-way quarterback battle in camp is what they are saying. Defense, leading tackler Donolis Johnson returns. He had 89 tackles. 7 more starters on defense comes back. Linebacking core, that looks really good for them. So if they can get that offense going, that defense should be able to help out and get them into a bowl game maybe. Non-conference, Wake Forest, Indiana, Merrimack, and Arkansas State. Louisiana Tech Bulldogs, 5-8, 4-4, lost to Army Independence Bowl. Last conference title, 2011 in the WAC. 5 on offense, 3 on defense. Tony Franklin returns to Ruston as the new OC after 13 years away. Sophomore quarterback Evan Bullock returns. Defense was great last year, but this year only 3 starters return. Non-conference, Southeast Louisiana, who's pretty damn good. LSU, Southern Miss, and then Washington State, who's also pretty damn good too. Delaware Blue Hens, first FBS season. Have you seen their helmets? They need to play Michigan. Would that not be a cool game? Same helmets, just Delaware, their blue is a little bit lighter. But wouldn't that be a hell of a game? They need to play Michigan. 9-2, 6-2 last year. Started 6-0. Lost the conference title 2021, or last conference title 2021. Damn. In the Coastal Athletic Association. 4 on offense, 7 on defense, kicker and a punter. Lost a lot of offensive firepower, though. Breaking in a new quarterback. Defense looks good. Out opponents to 107 yards rushing last year. So they had a hell of a run defense. Non-conference, Delaware State, Colorado, UConn, and Wake Forest. And the FIU Panthers, 4-8, 3-5. Last conference title, 2010. Lost to Jacksonville State and Kennesaw State by combined 6 points last year. 2 on offense, 2 on defense. Lots of transfer portal losses, but junior quarterback Keon Jenkins, he returns. Lots of transfer portal losses on defense also, including leading tackler Travian Barnes. 129 stops for him last year. Non-conference, Bethane Cookman, Penn State, UConn, and FAU. All right, big games in the Conference USA. First weekend, this ought to be a pretty good game on that week 0. Sam Houston at Western Kentucky. That should be pretty good. And then September 6th, Liberty at Jacksonville State. September 20th, James Madison at Liberty. September 27th, New Mexico State at New Mexico. That's always a good rivalry. October 9th, Jacksonville State at Sam Houston. October 29th, Jacksonville State at Middle Tennessee. November 15th, Middle Tennessee at Western Kentucky. November 22nd, Sam Houston at Middle Tennessee. And then November 29th, Western Kentucky at Jacksonville State. And Kennesaw State at Liberty on that same day. And ending this show with the MAC preview. Toledo Rockets 8-5, 4-4. Beat Pitt in the game above Sports Bowl. Took 6 overtimes, but they did it. Last conference title, 2022. 5 on offense, 5 on defense. Kicker and the punter. Quarterback Tucker Gleason is back, as is his number 1 favorite receiver, wide receiver, Junior Van. Need a running game, though. Can't just all pass. You got to get a running game. All 5 starters returning defensive secondary. Defensive line, linebackers, they're going to need a little work. Non-conference, Kentucky, Western Kentucky, Morgan State, and Washington State. Buffalo Bulls, good season for them last year. 9-4, 6-2, beat Liberty in the Bahamas Bowl. Went 4-4, won the last 4 games to help them out. Last conference title, 2008, returning starters, 5 on offense, 9 on defense. So defense should be really good this year. But who's going to be the quarterback? Looks like it's going to be a battle between 6 guys in camp this year. Running backs, wide receivers, they got some good ones returning. Defense should be good, like we said. Hell, 9 starters coming back. Senior linebacker Red Murdoch returns, 156 156 tackles, 17 for loss. Non-conference includes Minnesota, St. Francis, Troy, and UConn. Ohio Bobcats, 11-3, 7-1, beat Miami of Ohio in the MAC championship, beat Jacksonville State in the Cure Bowl. 5 on offense, 3 on defense. Senior quarterback Parker Navarro returns, 2,200 passing yards, 13 touchdowns, but also ran for over 1,000 yards. Man. And he ran for 18 touchdowns, so that's going to help them a hell of a lot. Bobcat, they did lose some good players to transfer portal on defense. Lost a couple of coaches, too. A couple of their coaches transferred on to, or went on to other schools. Non-conference, Rutgers, West Virginia, Ohio State, Gardner-Webb. First 3 games, whoa. Miami of Ohio, Redhawks, 9-5, 7-1. Lost to Ohio in the MAC championship game. Beat Colorado State in the Arizona Bowl. 2019 was their last conference title. Not good. 0 returning starters on offense, 4 on defense, and the kicker. Senior quarterback DeQuan Finn, he is a dual threat. Transfers in from Baylor. New O-line for him, though. So he's got new guys up front protecting him. No veterans coming back. Defense, all new on defensive line, too. Secondary, beat up a lot last year, but they got some of those guys coming back. Wisconsin, Rutgers, UNLV, and Lindenwood is their non-conference. Wisconsin, UNLV is probably going to be tough on them. Maybe even Rutgers. Central Michigan Chippewas, new head coach Matt Drinkle. He was the offensive coordinator at Army. You see all these badass Army teams the last couple of years. They led the nation in rushing last year. 4-8, 2-6, 3-3 at mid-season. It looked like they could be going to a bowl if they fought hard, but they didn't. Finish 1-5. Last conference title, 2009. 3 on offense, 6 on defense. Senior quarterback Joe Labas, he returns from being injured. Only played 5 games last year. 2 starters on defensive line, linebacker, and 4 in the secondary. Should be a decent defense. For some reason, I didn't get their non-conference written down. Why? I don't know. Western Michigan Broncos, 6-7, 5-3. Lost to South Alabama in the Salute to Veterans Bowl. Last conference title, 2016. 4 on offense, 5 on defense, and the punter. Expected to be a 2-way quarterback battle between Brock Lowry and Brady Joyner here in fall camp. They didn't lose a whole lot on the defensive side though, the transfer portal. So that's good for them. Non-conference, Michigan State, North Texas, Illinois, Rhode Island. Not easy, but some of it is doable. Northern Illinois Huskies, 8-5, 4-4, beat Fresno State in the Idaho Potato Bowl. Famous Idaho Potato Bowl. Crazy season. They won 2, lost 2, won 2, lost 2. Last conference title, 2021. 1 returning starter on offense, 2 on defense. They have a lack of standout players on this team. Lost quarterback Ethan Hampton to Illinois. Graduation tore apart their running back group. So I don't know what they're going to do. They have to revamp the defense too. So anyway, Northern Illinois, non-conference, Holy Cross, Maryland, Mississippi State, San Diego State. Eastern Michigan Eagles, 5-7, 2-6, started 4-1, finished 1-6. Last conference title, 1987. 5 on offense, 5 on defense, and the punter coming back, so that's not too bad. Expected to be a 3-man battle in the quarterback room. 24 new fresh faces come in to this team this year. Non-conference, Texas State, Long Island, Kentucky, and Louisiana. There's Akron Zips, 4-8, 3-5. Last conference title, 2005. 4 on offense, 2 on defense. Senior quarterback Ben Finley returns. 2,600 passing yards, 16 touchdowns, but he did throw 9 interceptions last year. 2 returning O-line starters, new faces all over the defense for them. NCAA penalties make them ineligible for postseason play. Non-conference, Wyoming, Nebraska, UAB, and Duquesne. Ball State Cardinals, 3-9, 2-6, won the first game, lost the next 4 last year. Last conference title, 2020. Bowless in the last 4 years, they have not gone to a bowl game. 1 on offense, 3 on defense coming back. New head coach Mike, how you say his name, Juranovic. Did good things at Butler, though. He did really good at their football program. See if he can do it at Ball State. It's going to be tough. Non-conference, Purdue, Auburn, New Hampshire, and UConn. Bowling Green Falcons, 7-6, 6-2. Lost to Arkansas State in the 68 Ventures Bowl. 7-point loss. Not bad, not by much. Last conference title, 2015. 5 on offense, 1 on defense. Kicker and a punter coming back. Eddie George. Remember Eddie George? Former Ohio State running back. Heisman Trophy winner. Played for the Houston Oilers. He's their new head coach. That's going to be awesome. I can't wait to see how they do under him. The one returning defensive starter is safety Darius Lourdes. Non-conference, Lafayette, Cincinnati, Liberty, and Louisville. UMass Minutemen back in the MAC after a 10-year absence. 2-10 as an independent last year. Highlights, though. They had some highlights last year. Lost to Toledo by only 5. Lost to Liberty by 1 in overtime. But they only got 2 returning starters on offense, 1 on defense. Since they jumped from FCS to FBS, they have not won more than 4 games a year. That's just incredible stat. Non-conference, Temple, Bryant, Iowa, Missouri. And last but not least, Kent State Golden Flashes. Nick Saban's old team. 0-12, 0-8. Man. Lost to Tennessee, 71-0. Lost to Pitt, 56-0. Lost to Ohio, 41-0. Last conference title, 1972. You know who the head coach was? Don James, the old dog father, they call him up there in Seattle. Went to Washington, won a national championship. Had some extraordinarily awesome teams there at Washington. Nick Saban, we just mentioned, he was on the team. Missouri coach Gary Pinkel, he was on the team. And guess who else was on that team? No number 58 himself from the Steel Curtain, Jack Lambert, running linebacker for Pittsburgh Steelers, was on that team too. Man, hell of a team and hell of a coach. 3 on offense, 3 on defense coming back. Coaching issues, though. Fired the head coach in April. Evidently he received a 6-figure loan from the booster. Says he paid it back, but that pretty much did it right there. Non-conference, Merrimack, Texas Tech, Florida State, and Oklahoma, so not too good for their non-conference. All right, so big games. August 30th, Toledo at Kentucky. September 6th, West Virginia at Ohio. That should be pretty good. This one could be pretty good. We'll see. We'll see how Ohio State's going to be this year. But September 13th, Ohio at Ohio State. September 20th, Northern Illinois at Mississippi State. September 20th, Northern Illinois, Mississippi State. I said that right? Yeah. September 27th, UConn at Buffalo. October 4th, Miami of Ohio at Northern Illinois. October 8th, Northern Illinois at Ohio. October 25th, Toledo at Washington State. November 1st, Central Michigan at Western Michigan. November 12th, Toledo at Miami of Ohio. November 19th, Miami of Ohio at Buffalo. And then November 28th, Ohio at Buffalo. Anyway, that's it. We will be back next week. We'll be doing, I think we got the SEC and them coming up here next week. Anyway, hey, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Tomorrow's Monday. It sucks. So what are you going to do? Stay busy, work hard. The weekend will be here before you know it again. Until then, stay safe. We will see you on the next time.